What's up, everybody? King Triple C here, the Olympic champion, flyweight champion, the bantamweight champion of the world. And I got a public service announcement to all you wannabe MMA casuals or MMA fans for that reason. You guys make sure to listen to my boy Story of the Fight with Will and Miro. You know why? Because Triple C said so. And if you don't, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to King Triple C 2.
So, Will, you told me you have some news for me today. What is it, my man?
Yeah, so Ariel last night posted, this is Nick Diaz earlier today. He weighs in the 175 to 165 pound range per his manager. He just completed a 14-week diet and training regimen. This is the first time he cuts weight in approximately 4 years. Diaz wanted to do a test cut because he is keeping a close eye on the big welterweight fights coming up. He is 100% planning on fighting again and is targeting an early 2021 return. And Dude. He looks good. He looks good.
He does. He looks shredded right now.
Yeah, he looks better than he looked when he was... when he fought Anderson Silva, that's for sure. I think him fighting at 170 is definitely where he should be and not at 185.
Absolutely. No, 170 I think would be the perfect weight class for him right now. And do you have the 170 rankings up right now? I'm just thinking of different fights that he can get right now, and I'm sure he's going to be looking for big money fights as well. And just right off the top of my head, I can think of Masvidal. But we don't know where Masvidal is versus Nate right now and what's going to happen with the BMF belt.
Yeah, with them saying that he's keeping an eye on the top welterweight fights, I think what they mean is he's keeping an eye on Masvidal versus Nate. If Masvidal beats Nate, then for sure they're going to do Masvidal versus Nick. I mean, that's...
Then Big Brother comes in, does some ninja shit.
Yeah, it would be the biggest story that they could push right now in all of the UFC. Now that DC versus Stipe happened, Nick coming back to avenge his brother if Nate loses, which I think Masvidal's too big for Nate, but he's not too big for Nick. He's not too big for Nick.
Yeah, and I don't know how Nate would feel about that story too. You know, I know he loves his brother. Yeah, we talked about the Diaz brothers and the personalities, and one of the things that I failed to mention as to why I picked them number 2 on that video we posted was the biggest personalities in MMA is because that bond and relationship that they have as brothers is real, man.
Very
and to
real.
this day, Nate Diaz gives credit to his brother for his success, gives shout outs to the Nick Diaz army. He calls Nick Diaz the general, the leader of their crew.
Calls him the mixed martial art master.
Mixed martial art master, dude, with his nunchucks, you know what I mean? He's been training for this moment, for this comeback. But I still wonder about the stardom that Nate Diaz has experienced as of late, how he would feel about his brother coming in and overshadowing him a little bit and him being used as bait for this fight of Nick versus Nate, or Nick versus Masvidal. And Nick having to, avenge his little brother's loss. And it sounds good to us, but I'm thinking about Nate specifically and where his psyche would be. Or who knows, he might just be like, dude, go get it, man. I think big Nate brother, I want to see you succeed.
Yeah, I think Nate would be more like, finally the world sees what it's supposed to be, that Nick is the one, because he's always been like, Nick's the best. He's the best fighter of all time. That's what Nate always has said. So I think he would be more in line with thinking that this is just Nick's finally getting his due. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Nick versus Masvidal. Nick hasn't fought in 5 years. He's 37. He looks like he's in great shape. We know when Nick is in great shape, he's in great shape. But I mean, the ring rust could be real. I think he's been training at least lightly this whole time. I know people joke about how he's always in the clubs and stuff if you watch his Instagram stories and everything, but he's still at least is training jiu-jitsu. But man, stylistically, Masvidal versus Nick Diaz is fucking awesome.
Oh my God.
Such a good style fight. Looking at anything else, it's not like he's going to come out and fight Usman. You know,
No,
he's not going to
I don't think
come
the
out and
UFC would
fight
want to see that
Colby.
either.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, the only people outside of Masvidal that I could see him even fighting that would be like a fun fight to do is someone like Pettis, which would be hilarious if his comeback fight is against Pettis, just like Nate, and then Robbie Lawler, which I doubt. I mean, they're not the biggest fights, and I don't think Nick's going to come back for not a huge fight. You know, but
No.
he's not going to fight someone like Gilbert Burns or Kamaru Usman. Especially not Kamaru Usman or Colby, just because that wrestling style is fucking. Why would he want to come out and fight someone who he thinks doesn't even fight? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So Masvidal is the one that makes sense. I just wish that they got something booked before we saw what the outcome was of Nate versus Masvidal. I'm just excited of the thought of Nick coming back.
I just want Nick to get a payday.
And Nate being active. Yeah.
Even if Nick comes
he deserves
back,
it.
Yeah, even if Nick comes back, loses, and then retires, I'm okay with that because he deserves. Because now in this day and age, fighters get paid, especially at that level. Fighters get paid for that popularity thing. So Nick coming back, I mean, he's making $1 million easily. No matter who he fights, he's going to make $1 million, and that's something that he made $500,000 against Anderson, and probably a little bit more than that outside of all things considered, but. Still, he deserves those gigantic paychecks to make up for how he was done so shitty his whole career. He deserves the big payday, and hopefully he gets it with this one. So even if he comes back, loses, and retires, fuck it, I don't even care. Obviously, I want him to win. I'd love to watch him win a fight, but it's been 5 years since he won a fight. But
I'm right there with you, and he definitely looks like he's in shape. He's probably, he's always either running triathlons or doing something like that. He's always stayed in some type of shape, but fight shape. He looks lean right now. He looks like he's been training. I mean, it's due to the fact that he did cut some weight down, so that's probably why he looks extra lean. And you brought up the ring rust, putting him up against Masvidal that has been under these the major lights.
And he's a fast
with
starter.
His recent fights. Yeah, he's a fast starter.
Comes out quick.
And it depends on how much damage Nick would be able to take there the first couple rounds. And after that, with Nick's high output, he might be able to break Masvidal down in the later rounds.
I mean, I think Masvidal's in his prime right now. It's the best we've ever seen him, right? But I mean, this Masvidal versus Nick in his prime, I mean, he just, in my opinion, would just fall flat eventually. Nick would just beat him down, especially stylistically. You cannot go. Masvidal's the type of guy who, if they were fighting in their prime, he would try to go strike for strike with someone like Nick, and you just cannot do that unless you're elite cardio, which I don't think Masvidal is. Eventually, he would wilt and he would go under, I think.
The UFC doesn't tend to do any favors when it comes to matchups sometimes, especially for folks that come in as big names already. Mm-hmm. And I think about, well, would they give him some type of fight just for him to be able to get his feet under him again, be able to get used to fighting speed and be able to get used to, or getting rid of that ring rust? Mm-hmm. But I don't think they will.
I don't think so either. If they do, like I said, love to see him fight Pettis. Pettis is just in such a cool part of his career right now where he's not going to be a champ again, most likely. But he's even said, he's like, yeah, once I got the belt, I thought I was a wrestler. And then I was like, what am I doing? I'm a striker. So he's like, I'm just going out there and having fun with these striking fights now. And man, Nick Diaz versus Pettis would be sick. I think Nick's a little too big for Pettis. I don't think Pettis is a real welterweight. But
yeah,
it'd be a good comeback fight. Same way it was for Nate. It's a good comeback fight because Pettis is, you're not going to walk all over him, but you're going to have to sharpen your skills against someone like that. And he's a perfect comeback fight.
I'm just excited at the thought of Nick coming back.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that news this morning, and I'm getting ready, I get out of the shower, and I'm just like flipping through my shirts. I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is, man. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what fight it is that he wore this on his walkout for. Mm-hmm. But it's always been one of my favorite shirts, and I've always been a huge Nick Diaz fan, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll see where this goes.
I just want to see him do well. You know, I don't want to see him. The reality is, post-fighting life for a lot of fighters gets sad a lot of the times, and I just do not want to see that happen with Nick. And I was a little worried sometimes with the whole partying constantly. I don't know if he's just getting paid to be at these clubs, um,
For
but
sure.
I mean, he didn't start drinking until fairly recently. So, I mean, he was always, I'm not going to do that. I'm in the best shape I could possibly be in at all times. I'm not going to put that in my body.
Ninjas
And
don't do that, you know?
yeah, ninjas are not in the club every night. So,
Or they are and you don't see them.
yeah. Yeah, they're not posting about it on social media every single night. I think he gets paid to be there by these clubs.
Yeah.
Um, but man,
And if
much
you're
rather see
somebody that
him.
made money off of fighting and USADA takes that away from you, and the other thing you can do, making money, not having a 9 to 5, what would you do? If somebody calls you and they're like, Will, you don't have to work your 9 to 5 anymore,
Yeah.
but I need you to show up to these clubs every weekend, maybe get a couple, drinks in your
Yeah.
system, say hi to fans, sign a
Tell
couple
people who you
autographs, give
are.
high fives. Yeah, say everybody, I'm Nick Diaz, leader of the Nick Diaz Army,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. And you're going to get paid a ton of money. Would you do it?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Will, I need you to show up to this weed shop and sign autographs for an hour.
That's
Here's
how I met him.
$5,000. Here's $5,000. Would you do it? Yeah, all day, every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can't blame the guy.
Nick Diaz is the shit, man. I'm gonna tell that story real quick. When I met him at that weed shop, just like Nick Diaz, all throughout his career, showing up late to shit, not going to press conferences, all this shit. Get there at like 11 o'clock. He's supposed to be there at 12. Decent sized line for people to come meet him, right? Doesn't show up until 5 p.m. He's 5 hours late. The line went from probably about 70 people to probably 20, 25. I had nothing to do that day. Me and my brother went. There was, I think, a round table right across the street. So we just ordered a pizza, sat in line, ate pizza. Guy in front of us was cool. So we were just chatting up with him for 5 hours, eating pizza.
Fuck. Did you give him any pizza?
Yeah. Wait, who? Nick or
guy.
the guy in front of me?
No, the guy in front of you.
Yeah, the guy in front of me. Yeah, he got pizza.
What a good guy.
Look, I'm not gonna sit there in a line with a large pizza and just eat it by myself with my brother when there's another guy we've been talking to the whole day. But so we end up we're like fourth in line now because everybody left. People were like, fuck this. All these fair weather Nick Diaz fans don't know who he is. I was like, yeah, he's not gonna show up at 12. Fuck no, he's driving. I saw him in the club last night on Instagram stories. There's no way he's gonna be down here. That's at least a 3 or 4 hour drive, so he's not gonna be down here at 12 o'clock. Fuck no. So we're chilling, right? And then the cannabis club is giving these updates like all the time. Like, yeah, we're talking to his manager. We're trying to get him down here. He's on his way, all this stuff. And then like at like 2:30, they say he's supposed to almost be there. And then they're like, yeah, he just left Stockton right now. And we're like, cool, whatever. Let's get 3 hours. 3 hours later, we'll see him. Finally shows up, walks past everybody in line, says hi, says sorry to everybody. Just doesn't look like he wants to be there whatsoever. And I was like, whatever, it's cool. Like, I wouldn't want to be here either if I was him. I'm just going to get my autograph because I had the drawing that I did of him, right? I was like, I'll get that autograph by him. And I think I printed a copy for you. I think I still have. I don't think I ever mailed it to you.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, you need to send that shit out.
Yeah, so I made 3 copies. Yeah, I made 3 copies. One for you, one for me, and then one for my brother, I think. But I think Ryan only got the pamphlet for the thing signed by him. I don't really remember. But anyways, we get up there, get up to the line. He's taking these pictures of people. You could tell it's like that weird kind of like socially awkward thing where he's not really enjoying himself. He's just kind of like, sign this, look at the camera, and then on to the next one, right? Nothing crazy. And then I get up there and I was like, oh, hey, like big fan, all this shit, right? And then while he's signing them, he was like, did you draw these? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, damn, that's sick. And so he's signing them, and I was like, yeah, dude. And I was telling him like, hey, bro, like I know this is where it gets cheesy. I was like, hey, I know like you felt like the UFC never promoted you right, but like just want to let you know like all throughout high school and shit, I looked up to you and your brother and like all this stuff. And he was like, oh, that's cool. But like, wasn't really like, never really looked at me or anything like that. Wasn't engaging, right?
Yeah.
Was just kind of doing his thing, going through the motions. I was like, whatever. I just wanted him to hear that from somebody, right? And so we sign it. Brian takes a picture. I actually had Brian take a video of it so that I could just screenshot it because I didn't want to be like, we got one picture and I'm fucking blinking. So it's just a video of us being like, for like 5 seconds, right?
Smart.
Yeah.
I would do that too.
So, yeah, that's my go-to from now on. Ever since we met Forrest Griffin and I took a picture and it's super blurry because we were walking down the street, I was like, that should have been a video. I could have just screenshot it because that picture's useless. But so he signs him, right? And I felt bad. So I told him, I was like, hey, it's for my buddy in Texas. He's like a good fan, like a big fan and stuff too. Because I didn't want it to seem like, oh, I have like a bunch of photos that you're going to sign. I'm going to go sell them, right? And so then as we're walking away, I like shake his hand and stuff. And he looks down and I was wearing a Bloodsport t-shirt.
Bloodsport.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme on it. And as I'm walking away, he like just realized it. And he was like, oh, that's a dope shirt. And I turned around and I was like, what? And he's like, that's a sick shirt. And I was like, oh, sick. And he's like, can I take a picture of it? And I was like, yeah, sure. Expecting him to just like put his camera up to my chest and like take a picture of the shirt. But then he just grabs me and like pulls out his phone and takes a selfie with me, puts it on his Instagram story, tags Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I was like, damn, that was sick. And as he takes a picture and then he's like on his phone and I'm walking away. I was like, that was fucking cool. Didn't expect to be pulled back to take a picture with him with his phone.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking away, he was like, hey, I know him, right? And I was like, what? And all of a sudden he like lights up, right? He's like not like weird anymore. He's not like all like subdued and shit, but he's like, yeah, I know him. And I was like, oh, sick. Yeah, dude, I've seen like videos of like you guys like doing like kicks and shit. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I know his daughter too. And I was like, oh yeah? And he's like, yeah, I was just partying with her yesterday. And I was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, we had a party at my house and she was there. And he laughs real quick. And I was like, damn, this dude probably banged Jean-Claude Van Damme's daughter last night, dude.
Dude, you probably should have been like, sick invite, bro. Here's my
info. Yeah.
Next time, hit me up.
Next time, get me over there. But yeah, man. And ever since then, I was like, fuck, dude. Obviously, I was a fan up until that point, but that was just so fucking cool, dude.
That's an awesome story, man.
Yeah, the fact that he took a selfie with me on his phone, posted it to his Instagram story, tagged Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. I was just like, fucking, felt like a kid.
That's
so
an awesome
sick.
Story, dude.
Yeah, it could have easily. And if it was just he signed these drawings, took a picture with them, and then we split, I would be like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, waited 5 hours for that, worth it. But the fact that he did all that shit was just super cool. So I can't wait to see him come back.
I can't wait to see him come back. I haven't taken any pictures of him with him, but I'm still excited. Do you have anything else, Will?
No, excited.
Excited over here as well. Thanks for listening to Story of the Fight, everybody. All right, everybody, thanks for listening to Story of the Fight. We really appreciate everybody's support. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, and when you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification button as well. That way you get notified whenever we upload anything new. Don't forget to hit the like button. It goes a long way for us. And leave some comments. We love interacting with everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to stay even more up to date, you can follow us at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at storyofthefight@gmail.com. Ask questions, give us feedback, critique us. We want to make this better, and input helps us do that.
Thanks for listening to Story of the Fight, everybody.